I am not waiting for the next empty shelf to remind me of the crisis already brewing. Preparation is the only defense against market panic here in Texas. My ammunition strategy is built on both terminal performance and constitutional principle. The Second Amendment is not a hobby. It is a supreme responsibility affirmed by District of Columbia v. Heller, 2008, and legally strengthened by NYSRPA v. Bruin, 2022. We all witnessed the 2020 to 2021 supply chain collapse turn routine training into a scavenger hunt while prices experienced hyperinflation. This time I am setting a clear, data-driven standard, caliber by caliber, guided by safety specifications from SAAMI headquarters, Newtown, Connecticut, and real-world duty performance metrics from the FBI HQ, Washington, D.C. My objective is surgical. Maintain reliable, verifiable stocks for home defense, hunting, and weekly practice without suffering overpayment when supply chains violently contort. I will break down critical mechanisms, barrel and gas system choices, twist rates, and load selection, then translate that into a mandated monthly buying plan. So when systemic uncertainty hits on any given day in 2025, my household remains trained, lawful, and fully operational. Why I'm stockpiling now, market whiplash, and supply chain reality. I still recall walking into my local shop in 2020-2021 and seeing the shelves stripped bare. That was not a fluke. It was the predictable result of demand spikes, a primer bottleneck, and factories prioritizing high-volume SKUs. When a major industry player changes ownership or retools production lines, capacity does not bounce back overnight. Add transport logistics delays and critical component shortages, and you get the same devastating outcome. More legal shooters chasing fewer available rounds, while prices catapult without warning. The legal lesson I carried forward into 2025 is stark. Preparation during market calm is the only defense against panic-driven chaos. Therefore, I plan like a Texas rancher plans hay for a hard winter, early, steadily, and meticulously documented. I segment my operational needs into 3 essential lanes: home defense, dedicated training, and hunting. I then set mandatory monthly minimums for each caliber instead of passively waiting for speculative deals. I meticulously track lot numbers, document my zero confirmations, and strictly rotate FIFO, first in, first out, ensuring my practice ammo cycles first. I also mandatorily separate duty loads from range fodder and verify the point of impact with my actual rifle or handgun before sealing away bulk stock. Because when shelves empty again, the only ammunition that matters is the ammunition already secured under your roof. 2 more rules keep my financial strategy honest. First, I never permit one caliber to cannibalize the entire budget. Diversification ensures I can maintain training if a single caliber completely dries up. Second, I buy with explicit purpose. That means buckshot. For the hallway, 22 LR for volume reps, 9 by 919 mm. For daily carry, 5.56 or 223 for the carbine, and 308 or 7.62 for long-wind defensive lines. I am not buying media hype, I am buying verifiable capability. 12 Gauge, the beating heart of home defense liability. A single practical legal lesson for new Texas homeowners lands hard. A well-configured 12-gauge solves many close-quarters liability problems. Keep barrels around 18.5-20 inches for maximum maneuverability and speed. Favor cylinder or improved cylinder chokes to avoid overconstriction with defensive buckshot. Pattern your shotgun at actual indoor distances rather than square range fantasies. Patterns vary by load, and at room length, the spread is often significantly tighter than most expect for defensive use. 00 buck in 2 to 3 4-inch shells typically 9 pellets with listed velocities in the low to mid 1300 FPS range, balances terminal effectiveness and crucial controllability. A clear pattern card documented at 5 to 15 yards removes all guesswork. For training and utility, bulk birdshot enables high-rep manipulations, mounting and recoil control without burning costly buckshot reserves. Keep a small verified reserve of slugs for intermediate barriers or exterior structures, and verify POI, point of aim base, point of impact, separately. The platform is secondary to absolute reliability and user familiarity. A rugged pump action handles varied loads and simple upkeep. A quality semi-auto mitigates recoil and speeds follow-ups. Prove function with the actual defensive load. Document the results and maintain a settings log. Build stocks in deliberate layers. Buckshot for the ready safe, birdshot for controlled reps, and a modest slug reserve. The 12-gauge earns its footprint by being versatile, legally decisive, and highly tradable when supplies severely tighten. 22. LR, the training engine and quiet workhorse. When prices spike, the caliber that keeps my hard-won skills sharp is the 22 long rifle. It is light, quiet, and cheap enough that I can bank real, quantifiable trigger time without second-guessing every press on a semi-auto like the Ruger 1022. With a 10-round rotary magazine, a typical 18.5-inch barrel, and a 1/16 twist, cycling is reliably predictable and accuracy is uncompromisingly honest. I can drill stance, sight picture, and transitions for hundreds of rounds, and still have a budget left for center-fire confirmations. Load selection is critical. High-velocity 22 LR runs most semi-autos more consistently, while standard velocity or subsonic can pair nicely with longer barrels for precision-minded training. I map each load at 25 and 50 yards, then translate those dope notes to my center-fire optics. The goal is not to pretend 22 LR is a fight stopper. The goal is to hardwire fundamentals, so my 900mm pistol and 5.56 carbine work feels automatic. For the pantry, I stock 22 LR in volume because it pulls double duty, low-cost training and small game utility. But I still treat it with legal seriousness, keeping it in sealed ammo cans with desiccant, labeled by lot, and rotating it like any other caliber. I also maintain one dedicated zero card for my training rig because even small velocity shifts can nudge the point of impact. The bottom line, when center fire becomes scarce or financially prohibitive, the 22 LR is how I maintain the edge without dulling the wallet. 9x90mm, my everyday backbone and crisis currency. When shelves thin out, 9x19mm remains the pragmatic anchor for handgun readiness. Modern duty loads meet the FBI penetration window, deliver higher capacity in compact frames, and keep recoil manageable, ensuring practical accuracy holds under time pressure. A mid-size benchmark illustrates the point. A Glock 19 with a 4.02-inch barrel and 15-round magazines is reliable with vetted JHP and predictable with bulk FMJ. Budget and skill scale through a two-stream approach. One stream is a consistent training FMJ, preferably matching bullet weight to preserve recoil familiarity. The other is a proven defensive JHP that is verified to expand from the actual barrel length. A sensible cadence mandates burning at least one magazine of carry ammo each quarter to validate cycling and ejection. Plus P, ammunition stays in reserve only after controllability and reliability are confirmed one-handed. Nothing moves to storage untested. Climate and logistics finish the picture. Sealed ammo cans with desiccant and a simple rotation card protect cartridges from Texas heat and dust. Rounds are labeled by lot number to preserve point of impact continuity when replenishing. In a severe shortage, 9mm often functions as informal currency thanks to ubiquity across platforms and sustained demand from new and seasoned shooters alike. The value here is not trend chasing. It is repeatable training and dependable carry performance when options are critically limited. Build depth during calm months. Document results, confirm zero at realistic distances, and maintain a clean maintenance log. When supply jitters return, the setups that keep running are the ones standardized, verified, and stocked before the panic begins. Document function tests thoroughly. 5.56 NATO or 0.223 REM, the AR-15 nerve system liability. Carbine work across fence lines and hallways fundamentally favors 5.56 NATO or 0.223 RM with strict attention to chamber pressure and barrel dynamics. A true 5.56 chamber carries a longer lead throat and is engineered for higher maximum average pressure (MAP) than 0.223 RM. The practical, legal rule: firing 5.56 in a tight 0.223 chamber can cause catastrophic pressure spikes. Firing 0.223 in a 5.56 chamber is acceptable. Clear markings and a maintenance log prevent fatal guesswork. Barrel and gas length fundamentally shape behavior. On a 16-inch barrel, mid-length gas typically runs softer and less gassy than carbine length, a massive advantage during long-range days in Texas heat. Reliability is engineered, not assumed, requiring a staked gas key, verified extractor tension, and documented buffer spring combinations that deliver consistent lockback with the chosen load. Twist rate is matched to the mission, not internet myth. 1.7 stabilizes heavier bullets, 1.8 offers broad versatility, and 1.9 excels with lighter pills. Load strategy favors familiar documented standards. M193, 55 grain, brings speed and fragmentation behavior from longer barrels, rewarding accuracy and discipline at distance. M855, 62 grain, with its steel penetrator, handles light barriers better and bucks wind a touch more along open fence lines. 0 with a duty lot, then confirm holds out to 300 yards on steel, so trajectory becomes lived experience, not just book numbers. Logistics keep the carbine honest. Bulk FMJ supports classes and high-rep drills. Each can labeled by lot and stored in sealed containers. A smaller reserve of vetted defensive loads stays staged for the house rifle. A training diary tracks round count between bolt carrier group cleanings for when shortages return. 5.56, 223 disappear quickly due to widespread AR-15 ownership, and the advantage goes to shooters who stock steadily and verify their setups long before the panic. 308, win, or 7.62.51 NATO, the long fence hammer and financial value. When wind rises and distances drastically lengthen, Pinri 08, Winchester, and 7.62.51 NATO take over. They are related, not identical, with typical SAAMI specs, allowing higher MAP for 308 win, while many 7.62 NATO chambers are cut a touch more generously. The practical takeaway: run hot pressure .08 loads cautiously in rifles marked strictly for 7.62. Document each rifle's chamber on a visible data card and confirm flawless function before buying in bulk. Caution is not fear, it is repeatability. Platform follows mission. A trim bolt action with an 18-22-inch barrel rides easily in a truck and prints tidy groups with soft point or match bullets during harvest season. An AR-10 pattern rifle pays dividends when quicker follow-ups around a ranch are required. provided the gas system is tuned to the stocked load. Zero setting should be pragmatic, often 100 or 200 yards, with confirmation at 300 to 500 yards, when mirage is readable and the pasture is clear. Inventory splits into two lanes. One is a training ball load that approximates the recoil and trajectory of the primary lot. The other is task-specific, match for steel and precision work, controlled expansion for game. Each lot earns a chronograph note alongside temperature, barrel length, and any observed POI shift. So scope holds are built from data, not guesswork. Because 308 7.62 carries momentum through wood, thin sheet metal, and brick, backstops and shot angles around structures must be deliberate. Pacing matters. Depth is built slowly, a case at a time during calm months, then sealed in owled cans with desiccant and a FIFO rotation tag. In tight markets, 308 7.62 serves as both reach and trade. Serious capability with durable barter value. When others scramble for leftovers. Storage and longevity, heat, humidity, packaging, and life cycle risk. You cannot afford the heat in Texas if you are storing ammunition improperly. So my ammo lives by SAAMI common sense. Cool, dry, stable. I store in gasketed ammo cans with fresh desiccant. I label each can with caliber, lot, and date, and park them in a climate-tamed room, not the attic or a truck box that cycles from frying pan to ice bath. I avoid volatile solvents near primers and seal cartons in heavy poly if a flood season threatens. Every 6 months I spot check for tarnish or corrosion at the case mouth and primer annulus. Then I rotate FIFO, so practice lots age out first. For safety planning, I separate bulk stock from the ready rack and keep ignition sources away. Loose rounds in a house fire do not build chamber pressure like a firearm discharge, but I still think like a firefighter. Distance, barriers, and clear egress. Reliability is the singular point of stockpiling. Storage that protects powder stability and primer sensitivity is how that reliability survives the years. Budget, sources, law, and barter value. A calm season shopping mandate. Ammunition is my critical resource. I buy it like a ritual so I can return to training and what I love. I split the budget across my 5 operational anchors, 12 gauge, 22 LR, 9mm, 5.56 or .23, and 308 or 7.62, so no single shortage freezes my training. I price from reputable retailers, keep invoices, and note lot numbers for zero continuity before any online order or private transfer. I review state and local laws and shipping rules. Paperwork today avoids headaches and legal jeopardy tomorrow. When shelves go bare, some calibers become informal currency. I don't hoard to scalp. I stock to train and protect, but I acknowledge economic reality. Common calibers with sealed storage and documented lots hold critical barter value in a pinch. Buy smart when things are calm and you grow your stockpile in peace. Wait for panic season and you're just burning money while your blood pressure spikes. I cannot control supply chains. I control readiness. My plan is simple and proven. Stock what I actually shoot. Verify function with the exact lot that lives in the gun and protect it from heat and humidity like it's life support. Because in a crisis, it is. The pillars don't change. 12 gauge for decisive rooms, and 22 LR to keep skills cheap and sharp. 9mm for the pistol I carry. 5.56 or 223 for the carbine that solves problems across the property. And 308 or 7.62 for wind, distance, and barriers. Layer in disciplined storage, FIFO rotation, and a monthly budget that ignores headlines. And I am never at the mercy of an empty shelf again. That's not paranoia, that's responsibility under the Second Amendment, backed by data and verifiable practice, Texas style. When the next market wobble hits in 2025 or beyond, my household won't be waiting in line. We'll be training, legal, and ready.